All right, so let's continue now our discussion so that we could finish this part. Um, uh, so natapos na natin yung tatlong perspectives and critics ni na Waldo, Appleby, at saka ni Simon. Okay? Now, I think all of us in the public administration side is familiar with the new public administration perspective. Okay? Ito yung tinatawag nating NPA. Okay? Not the NPA that we know na sinasabi ng mga kawani ng pamahalaan na kalaban nila, mga rebelde. Okay? The NPA here is what we call now as the New Public Administration and not the New People's Army. Okay? Ngayon, pagkatapos po ni na Waldo, Appleby, and Simon that challenge the old assumptions of public administration, the discipline eventually had to confront another question. Okay? If administration is not simply about neutral and efficient implementation, then what else should public administration care about? And this brings us to the new public administration or NPA. In this slide, you can see that it is in the context of 1968. So kung mapapansin po ninyo, yung mga perspectives na dinidiscuss ko na po sa inyo ay palapit na ng palapit doon sa era po natin. 1968 is just how many years ago? That's just like 50 years ago. Okay? So medyo malapit-lapit na siya. In fact, in the Philippine setting, medyo nandito na tayo sa panahon ng 1968, ito yung ongoing na yung martial law po natin, di ba? In fact, ito yung reign ng batas militar sa Pilipinas. Okay? Now, in the 1960s, in the America, okay, they were experiencing now enormous social and political tension. Nandiyan na yung paglala ng civil rights struggles. There is an extreme racial inequality, 'di ba? Doon natin nakikita yung racism na tinatawag po natin, particularly against the black people. Okay, there is what we call as a rise of poverty. No? Nagkalat din po kaliwat kanan ang mga protesta. And then sa konteksto ng Southeast Asia, nandiyan yung Vietnam War, okay? And yung lumalalang distrust of government institution. So, yung mga mas bata at mas recent na public administration scholars started asking, what is the point of having an efficient government if that government is not responding fairly to serious problems? 'Di ba? Totoo naman, okay? Kasi binigyan na tayo ng foundational context sina Wilson at Goodnow. Sinasabi nila mabalin nga pag sinaon iti administration and politics, and that is true, no? In the context of functionality and institution wise pwede. And then binigyan tayo ng perspective ni Weber kung saan ang politics and administration ay hindi pwedeng paghiwalayin completely because they are a part and parcel now of a bureaucracy. And then, pagdating kay Waldo, sinabi niya doon na hindi pwedeng sabihing totally hiwalay ang politics and administration kasi at the end of the day, the implementers, the administrators, the civil servants, no, the career servants, they also employ value-laden perspectives. They employ their own judgment. Doon papasok yung discretion. And mas pinagtibay ni Appleby yung perspective ni Waldo. Kasi nga, si Appleby ay matagal na pong nanilbihan sa pamahalaan. And then here comes Simon with another perspective na nagbigay po siya ng different direction. Okay. Ngayon, ang tanong naman po ng mas makabago, mas batang public administration scholars, ano yung point ng pagkakaroon ng efficient na government, yung good governance, if that government is not responding fairly to serious social problems? 'Di ba? Totoo naman, no? Halimbawa, 'di ba, meron tayong mga kawani ng pamahalaan. Okay? Kumbaga parang ngay immune dan. Immune dan iti kasasaad iti pamahalaan tayo, no? You try to imagine a government agency that processes applications incredibly fast, no? Pagpunta mo doon sa office ni barangay secretary, for example, or pumunta ka sa registrar ng ISPSC, pagdating mo doon, 1 minute per transaction, ang bilis. Walang pila. Very efficient sila and very economical kasi hindi ko na kailangang bumalik-balik, no? But suppose the service primarily reaches communities that are already privileged. Pero yung mga mahihirap at saka yung mga marginalized communities, they continue to have difficulty accessing it. Can we call that a good public administration? Kung saan yung mas mayayaman, mas makapangyarihan, may mas madaling access doon. Kumbaga, may express lane sila. No, dagiti marigrigat, Diyos ko, manupay nga subli, manupay nga plete, manupay nga pila, iti sa parenda, no, sa grapon da, sa danto nga makaala di document nga daw dawatin da. Again, can we call that a good public administration? You have to take note that new public administration says, hindi. Efficiency alone is not enough. Hindi sapat na efficient lamang just because mabilis ang serbisyo. Tama? Okay? Now, during the Minno-Brook Conference, natatandaan niyo yung Minno-Brook Conference, ito yung isa sa mga itinaguyod po ni Dwight Waldo. Okay? It happened in 1968. Most likely, your parents were born here already. No? Now, Dwight Waldo helped convene a group of younger public administration scholars at Syracuse University. Dito dapat yung ginagawa ninyo, class. No? Hindi sapat na nakikiayon ka lang sa trend, no? Nang babash doon sa Pax Silica, nang wala ka naman tunay na perspective na binubuo at hindi ka naman bumubuo ng parang pagtitipon kung saan pag-uusapan niyo yung tunay na problema ng pamahalaan. Yes, I know, very very nakakaengganyo naman talaga yung perspective ng Pax Silica among other social issues, no? Actually, kayo ng madaling araw, um, um, I was having an intellectual conversation, and then, kasi gumagawa ako ng AI na photo, parang pinaprank namin yung barkada namin. And then sabi niya sa akin, kaya nga AI, di, tapos nagpapaksili ka, kaso parang inaano mo rin yung tubig. And then I explained it to him. Sabi ko sa kanya, okay, even yung pag-search mo sa Google, yung pag-browse mo sa mga search engines mo, uses water, no? Ako, I decline the idea of Pax Silica, not because of the water consumption per se, because we already have technologies that may convert salt water into fresh water that could be used now to actually suppress the heat of these data centers. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Okay? Meron na tayong teknolohiya. Ay, actually, hindi natin pwedeng gamitin yung tubig dagat, ng tubig alat. Kasi it could corrode the metals protecting now these data centers. You know that the interaction between sodium chloride or salt, no, NaCl, sa mga sa mga metals po natin, it could greatly affect the integrity of that metal kaya magko-corrode po siya. Okay, so much for that scientific talks kasi I'm not expert on that one, but I know the very simple and basic things though, no. Sabi ko sa kanya, kung ang problema ay tubig, there would always be solutions for that we could meet halfway to have a compromise. Again, I do not take it lightly the issue on the declining supply of fresh water because that is already a problem. But there would be other solutions that could actually yield a 50-50 or win-win situation. The very reason why I greatly condemn and do not accept the idea of Pax Silica in the Philippines is because of the displacement ng mga tao, 'di ba? That is their natural habitat. And secondly, hindi lang tao ang madi-displace, even the wildlife. Okay? Malaki yung lupain na kukunin ng Pax Silica. And the number of people living there, including the wildlife, could be displaced. Doon ako nagkakaroon ng demarcations. Okay? So, napakaganda nung discussion namin kasi actually political science student siya. And then, maganda yung naging mga perspectives niya. Okay? kayong mga public administration students, you should keep on asking questions that are actually not um, on a bandwagon. What do I mean by that? Wag lang kayo nakikisabay sa trend dahil usong pinag-uusapan ito, 'di ba? O ngayon na medyo nag-die down yung usapin sa flood control, where are you now, public administration students? Hindi ba kayo nahihiya na sakalang kayo sumasawsaw sa issue kapag trending? That's not that's not a genuine public administration scholar is given na you are also studying in a state university. Hindi ba't nakakahiya na tinatawag ninyo ang sarili ninyong scholar ng bayan and yet wala man lang kayong pakialam doon sa mga umuusbong at umiiral na problema ng pamahalaan, 'di ba? Ang gaganda ng perspective. You have to take note, Dwight Waldo is young as you are nung 1968. He was still a student back then. And yet, they were able to come up with these questions that would actually challenge the existing state of governance and public administration in their society. Kayo, what is your question? Nasaan ang Pangulo? BBM Bangag? Sara Bobo? Robin Padilla Tanga? Is that really how a public administration should sound? 'Di ba? Medyo bumababa yung ating intellectual capacity to engage in this meaningful discussion because we are just on the surface level. And personally, nakakahiyayaan. 'Di ba? To note that there are some of you who cannot even write a simple argument. And you are just hiding within the facade and comfort of online classes just to actually escape the reality. And this is very disappointing, just to tell you honestly, 'di ba? Masyado kayong binibi ng technology in the sense that you relied too much on them, that you resorted to cheating just in case. No, life becomes difficult in your academics, 'di ba? Kaya hindi rin umuunlad ang Pilipinas. It's not just because of the existence of corrupt people, but also the corrupted minds of the society, including us, including you students. Kaya nga sabi ni Aristotle dati, hindi maganda ang demokrasya. Kasi ang demokrasya kapag nasobrahan, nagkakaroon ng pamahalaan ng mga mangmang, mga sunod sa agos, madaling utuin, 'di ba? Yun yung tinatawag na mobocracy. Dapat according to Aristotle, mas maigi na ang pamamahala ay iwan natin sa mga may merits, yung meritocracy, ba? Kaya nandoon yung aristocracy kasi according to him, only the philosopher kings should rule the government. Now going back to the Minobrook conference, okay? Dwight Waldo indeed helped convene a group of younger public administration scholars at Syracuse University. And you try to notice the connection. No? Balikan natin, if naalala niyo pa during our first discussion, yung sinabi ni Waldo. No? Administration is not value neutral. Never naging neutral in terms of decision yung sinasabi ni Waldo. In fact, sabi ni Waldo, public administrators cannot simply hide behind trabaho lang eh. We simply implement, 'di ba? Again, balikan natin yung example ko, scholarship. Sinabi ng ordinansa, okay, we will be providing scholarship and financial assistance to qualified beneficiaries residing in La Union, for example. So, ang daling intindihin, qualified beneficiary. Pagdating natin sa implementers, lalo kayo, soon, public administrators, no? Anong ibig sabihin ng qualified? 'Di ba? Qualified ba kapag ka matalino, consistent dean's lister? Or paano naman yung mga hindi nakaabot ang grado pero walang-wala talaga, 'di ba? For example ko 'di ba? Di may isa ka kaeskwilaam. Nagaudmot nga gad-adal agbabasa. Never nga agab absent, no? He's trying his best to finish his studies. Unfortunately, haan garon nga makaala iti na nga nga grado ta isulaang iti kabaulan na. Ngem, nagaget nga gadal agbasa. And then at the same time, marigrigat da. Will you give them the scholarship grant? O di magrereklamo naman yung mga consistent nakakakuha ng 1.25 pataas. O, di ba? So, my dear friends, it's not just simply trabaho lang and they simply implement it. Because administrative decisions involve values. Di ba? Minsan, nananaig din yung awa, nananaig din yung understanding. At the same time, nandoon pa rin yung pagiging tao. At the end of the day, administrators do not simply have stone hearts. Hindi pusong bato ang mga administrators natin. 'Di ba? Umiiral din yung pagiging makatao nila. At the end of the day, the Philippines no has this core values. Ano yung core values ng Philippines? Maka-Diyos, makabansa, makatao, at makakalikasan. Right? No. Now, this perspective, after 20 years, no, yung argument began to bear what the slide calls institutional fruit. Nagbunga. No? The question now becomes, if administration inevitably involves values, what values should public administration actively promote? Ngayon, tinanggap na nila yung perspective. Oo, sige. Tinatanggap namin yung idea ninyo na hindi pwedeng maging value free ang public administration. O in this regard, ano garud yung values na dapat i-promulgate ng administration? And isa lamang ang nanaig na sagot. Social equity. What is social equity? Sige nga. What is social equity? Social equity means the fair and just distribution of resources, rights, opportunities, and power in society. Plus, there is a big difference between equality and equity. Equality, pagkakapantay-pantay. Ibig sabihin, kapag may ayuda, 10,000 pesos sa lahat ng tao, regardless kung ikaw ay mayaman or mahirap, regardless kung malaki ang pamilya mo or mag-isa ka lang sa boarding house. That's equality. Equity is redistributing resources in the sense that you are trying to meet the specific needs of the people, okay, while maximizing your resources. For example, okay, 4,000 pesos sa mga mag-isa sa boarding, 15,000 pesos naman sa mga malalaki ang pamilya. Mga pamilyang may 5 hanggang 6 na anak, ganon. Okay? That's equity. Okay? And I would like to add this one, okay? This is a test for me if you are indeed listening and you are really watching my presentations, okay? Because again, you are giving me an idea, okay? And this is what disappointed me most, no? I have been very patient in providing lectures like this so as not to actually miss any lesson. And at the same time, for me to satisfy also what is mandated from me to teach. Ngayon di duma, di damat nga buybuyaan. Okay. Nakaka-disappoint lang on my end that I'm extending so much of this effort and yet you are not appreciating this by just simply watching this one. But nonetheless, okay, pag umabot kayo sa video na to, I want you to memorize the definition of social justice as according to Kalalang versus Williams. Okay? This is one of the things I have learned in my political science life that I have extended to my political science students in DIMSU and now here, public administration in ISPSC. Anong ibig sabihin po ng social justice according sa kasong Kalalang versus Williams noong 1940? Okay? According to Kalalang versus Williams, okay, memorize this ha kasi I might ask this as your, what do you call this one? Graded recitation. According to Kalalang versus Williams, social justice is defined as neither communism nor despotism nor atomism, nor anarchy, but the humanization of laws and the equalization of social and economic forces by the state. Okay? Memorize that. Okay? Kalalang versus Williams. Okay. Ngayon, ituloy natin yung discussion po natin. Bakit ko nabanggit po kasi yung perspective na yan? Well, my dear friends, okay, one of the scholars kasi most closely associated with this movement is si George Frederickson. Madami na akong daong binabanggit ha. Please memorize these perspectives. Mahilig pa naman ako sa application. Okay? Ang hirap sagutan ng application kung hindi nyo alam yung core concept na binabanggit po nila. Now, traditional public administration had long emphasized two major concerns. Yung konsepto ng efficiency at ng economy. Efficiency ask questions like, how can government accomplish more with fewer resources? Intindihin po natin na ang pamahalaan ay may limitadong supply ng mga resources po natin. Kulang sa budget, kulang sa tao, kulang sa time. While economy asks, how can government minimize unnecessary costs? 'Di ba? So, dito, parehong mahalaga ang perspectives na ito. Now, NPA does not necessarily say we should abandon them. What it says is they are insufficient on their own. Now, Frederickson and NPA scholars argued that we need to as I was saying, no, Frederickson and NPA scholars argued that we need another major criterion, and that is equity. No, not only we say did government deliver that service, but was that service delivered fairly? So economic efficiency and equity. Now, dito na papasok yung binabanggit kong difference ng equality and equity. You have to remember. So again, let me emphasize the context of equality and equity. No, tandaan ninyo, equality is not always equity. At maging maingat po tayo dito. Okay, re-emphasis. Okay, equity does not necessarily mean giving everybody exactly the same thing, no? Suppose ang isang LGU ay may 10 million pesos for healthcare services and sa 10 barangay. The easiest solution would be 1 million pesos kada barangay. Equal, no? Para alam mo yun, wala na masyadong computation, di ba? But Barangay A has a functioning health center. They have adequate personnel, good road access, malapit sa bayan. Pero si Barangay B is geographically isolated. Kabanbantayan pay laeng ken kailangan da pay nga bumalasiw iti waig sa nulaeng makadanon ijay hindi health center da. Do you think fair po ang pagbibigay ng 1 million pesos sa isa't isa? For that matter, I don't think so. Okay? So doon papasok yung equity. Kasi sa equity, you consider all possible factors. Okay? The differences in need, the disadvantage, the isolated, the unequal access, and of course, the various circumstances affecting it. Okay? Now, sometimes, treating unequal circumstances identically can actually reproduce inequality. Now, sa konteksto ng Pilipinas, very, very uso yan. Okay? Now, pag-usapan natin yung efficiency versus equity. Okay? Sometimes, efficiency and equity can conflict. Suppose you are an administrator. Okay? Yan. And you have two options. Option A allows you to serve 10,000 people cheaply in urban areas. Option B, on the other hand, allows you to serve only 3,000 people, but they are among the poorest and most geographically isolated citizens. Okay, so reaching them costs much more. If your only criterion is efficiency, okay na yung option A. More people served per peso. But NPA asks, should efficiency be only our measure of administrative success? Hindi po. Maybe, government has a special responsibility toward who are hardest and most expensive to reach. And definitely, That is value judgment. And you try to notice, no, who suddenly comes back into our discussion? Si Waldo. Administration cannot escape questions of values. So ano yung nagbago sa atin? Kung yung traditional public administration asks, was the program implemented efficiently? May dagdag si new public administration. Sino ang nag-benefit sa program? Sino ang naiwan or napag-iwanan? Were disadvantaged groups given meaningful access? Did government reduce inequality or unintentionally reproduce it? That is the major shift sa discussion ni Waldo. Now, public administration is no longer evaluated purely by how smoothly the machinery operates. We also evaluate the distribution of its consequences. So remember, my dear friends, the progression. Si Waldo, sinasabi po sa atin that administration cannot really be value neutral. Then public administration takes that argument further and asks, if values are unavoidable, what values should administrators care about? Social equity. Okay? And for the new public administration, a government that works efficiently but works unequally is not yet good enough. Okay? We'll see each other again on the next slide. For now, I will be ending this one so that you could digest properly the new public administration and the concept of social equity. Agyaman ako.